Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I am so glad you're here, you guys. Okay, you are in for a treat today. This is a super mega sized, not Megan, but mega sized episode. So, what happened is I had recorded a bunch of videos. I try to post every single day, as you know, at least once. Usually more than once. But so I have a couple that I've just kind of held on to. They were going to be posted, and then of course, we got the news from Catherine, Princess of Wales, and so I've just kind of been holding on to these episodes until it made more sense to post them. But I'm trying to focus on Catherine and the royal family, the royal women, things like that, as well as talk about the awfulness of Hank and Skank. So look for that as I continue to go on with this channel. But I did want to share some content with you. So what you have coming up here is a bunch of stuff I had recorded that I just didn't have the chance to share, and now it doesn't necessarily fully make sense timing wise, so I thought I'd put it all together, give you a supersized episode of things I've worked on before. So these are things like Quora question and answers. These are things like I went through a bunch of memes of Harry and Meghan and those Tumblr images you guys seem to like a lot. Things like that. And I thought I'll put it together in a supersized episode like this, and you could just watch it and enjoy it, and it'll make more sense if I just put it all together. So enjoy. I hope you stick with me. Do stay tuned to the end, because one segment, I actually post some of my favorite of your comments that you have left me, because I've got some really funny ones about the American Riviera Orchard recently. So I wanted to include that as well. So enjoy this big, potluck of content here. I hope you enjoy. A lot of you seem to like the supersized episodes. So here we go. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. So let's take a look and see what people are saying about Harold and Fraud, Hank and Skank, Harry and Meghan. All right, right off the bat, I thought this was fitting, especially with all the news coming out about, well, all the things we can see, the ways that they are targeting Catherine, Princess of Wales. This person says, I'm calling it now. Those two, I won't say their titles, have a Catherine shrine somewhere. Must be, given their obsession with her. I think so. Maybe not in literal sense, but I definitely think there are any dates that are important to Catherine, whether it be anniversary, birthday, upcoming events, projects she's working on, whatever it is. They have it marked down because they, and by they I mean mostly the wife, will try to do anything they can to overshadow or attempt to outshine. Good luck with that. Orchestrating a chaotic pap situation in New York City and getting their puppet Omid to hype it up as a near catastrophic car chase in the press just to get Diana comparisons is one of the lowest, most unhinged things Harry and Meghan has ever done. Shame on them. Yeah, it really is. That's why I will not stop talking about this, because they want us to, and so I will not. I think it's so funny the way that they threw all this stuff out there, and now they desperately don't want it talked about, right? No proof ever came out. We know the things. Everybody came forward and said, no, it's nonsense. We all said, no, it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. And yet I find it so funny because, again, every opportunity, they just play everything so completely wrong, and they think that they're going to be, victorious in all this. I mean, look at her rictus grin, right? His too. Too funny. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but it's fun to watch their downfall. All right, this person shared, speaking of the near catastrophic car chase, controversial opinion. I don't think it's controversial. Looking at Meghan's smug face in the taxi makes me think she set up the chase and didn't tell Harry. I think a lot of us had suspected that. I go back and I oscillate, if you will, as Harry likes to say. I went back and forth on that a little bit. I thought, no, he's got to be involved. But that dude is so painfully stupid. I think by leaving him out of the plan, I think, this is just my opinion, Meghan and Doria knew. That's how come Doria's sleeping in the back seat, and how come Meghan was smiling like that in the back seat, and Harry is frantically recording whatever he thinks is going on. I think she knows And again, Harry's no victim, so please don't take it as I'm painting him a victim. He's not. He's awful at so many things. But in this case, I don't think he knew. I do think that Meghan knew. And I think that's why she looked like that. And that's why I really think she thinks everything she does is great. So that's why she was smiling like that. She thought it was going to be this huge success. Never mind that they're the complete and total laughingstock. All right. It makes me sad that Meghan is stealing the story of Diana's life for herself. It's so disrespectful. It's like she only saw the woman's tragedy as some tool that it could help her achieve what she wanted. Ding, ding, ding. Think about this Diana stuff so often. It really does. It just lives rent-free in my head because it's so bizarre. I know, I see you, Meghan. I know people like when I say hi to her because I know she's watching. Hi, Meghan. I see you. We all see you. We see what you're doing. You're using this new book to try to rewrite history by saying, oh, both Catherine and I were encouraged to dress like Diana. No, you were not. No. You are cosplaying as Diana. You thought you could be Diana. You thought you would be beloved and then run away from the family, whatever. I'm not trying to disparage Diana. I'm saying Meghan, she just gets everything so wrong. She doesn't realize that Diana had charisma and charm that Meghan completely lacks. Diana had a sincerity that Meghan completely lacks. So no, you were never going to be Diana. I know you married her idiot son, and I'm sure that pisses you off, but you're still not Diana. I thought this one was so important to share because it's something I keep saying as well. Every time I think of what Catherine went through dealing with Meghan, I want to give her a hug. What a trooper. Exactly this. That's exactly what I've been saying. You know, we've found out trickles of information all along, and they've all been awful. We found out about everything from the bridesmaid dress to the Princess Charlotte of it all and all that, and we still are continuing to find out and to realize how awful Meghan treated Catherine. And yeah, to this person's point, what a trooper Catherine was and how she's continued to shine. So I do find it funny. I hate that Catherine's gone through this, but I do find it funny that Meghan really thought she was doing something here with this Omid book, like calling her a wet blanket and a Stepford wife, and trying to really disparage her, that it would turn people and we would see Catherine in a different light. Nope, not at all. The only way I see her in a different light is maybe that I love her even more. That's not a different light, but you get what I'm saying? It made me love her even more, and it made me realize, damn, she really did. She had to keep her head held high. She had to keep going while raising children, preparing to be the future queen, all the things, right? While dealing with this awful person. It really makes me, it's disgusting, and it makes me sick to my stomach. I love Catherine, Princess of Wales, and I love that people are seeing what she's had to deal with. All right. Only one of Diana's daughters-in-laws cosplay as her, and it's not Catherine. Yep. Once again, I've done videos on this, and I do get comments where people say, oh, Catherine dresses like her also. No, there's a difference between giving a nod to somebody that's important to your family and straight up trying to replicate, duplicate, cosplay as, that sort of thing. And that's Meghan. Since we're talking about the Diana of it all, anybody else still shudder a lot about how much Harry went into all of that in his book? Not just the cream. Oh, God. Using his mother's face cream. You know what I'm talking about. Oh. But also, he went into how much Meghan, I can't remember what exactly he called it. I believe it was like her stardust. He believed that Meghan had Diana's stardust, and that's why the royal family didn't like her, according to him. Again, they can never own up that they did anything wrong. It's everybody else's problem with them, that they, it's the victim of it all. But yeah, I think about that a lot. Wonder where Meghan keeps her piles of bench copies now that its sales along with her podcast and reputations have tanked. I hate to tell you, but I don't think they were ever that great. I did a deep dive into the bench. You can find it somewhere on here. I did it on Patreon as well. We actually read the thing. Oh, Goodness gracious. Um, it was funny because I pulled a picture where there was about 1,000 copies of the thing on her desk. She had it even stacked up under her computer. I don't know if that was supposed to be an advertisement for it. To me, all it read as crap. What do we do with all this merch? What do we do with all this these copies of this book? And so they just stacked it up under the computers. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, they don't they don't have good track record with books. So I don't know when this was posted, so you have to ignore the timeline, but it's still, the sentiment is still interesting. Here we go. So in the last 3 months, Archewell had resignations from the president, head of communications, head of audio, head of content, head of scripted content, head of marketing. Perhaps these ex-employees consider themselves members of the flourishing Sussex Survivors Club. Remember, that's what the staff at Buckingham Palace referred to themselves as. Let's see here. Without resigning, being fired, dropped, or ghosted. Yeah, they don't have a good track record for staff, but honestly, I don't blame the staff. Can you imagine if even if some of the stories we've heard are even kind of true? What a nightmare. Do you remember, I think about this too, in Harry's book, Spare, he talked about the employees laying their heads on their desks and crying. He chalked that up to as they were concerned about Harry and Meghan and their growing divide, I think, with the William and Catherine. No. Again, in my opinion, they're just rewriting history. I think that they were just having an awful time there. They were laying their heads on the desk and crying. All right. It's odd to me how people think William and Catherine don't have any personality. Do people think that? I have heard the idiots that follow Harry and Meghan say stuff like that. But Harry and Meghan do, because last time I checked, the Waleses are up for anything. Always get involved and don't take themselves too seriously, unlike the other pair. Exactly. I have been screaming the same thing. I go back to this example all the time because it's one of my favorites. The Waleses weren't, I think it was their first royal engagement after they were married. They hadn't been married long. They went to the United States, they went to Canada, and they were gifted some Stetson hats, those big old cowboy hats, right? They slapped them on their head. They went to a rodeo. They had the best time, like big smiles. It was great. Really good sports about the whole thing. Harry and Meghan were gifted these beautiful hats in Australia. I know you've heard me say this, but for those of you that don't know, these beautiful hats in Australia. It was a big deal. And they wouldn't put them on their heads. They wouldn't even try them on. They were asked to try them on, wouldn't do it. Kind of holding them like they were disgusted by them. And I said at the time, I don't care if it's a used sock somebody gives you. When you are a guest in their country and they're doing something nice for you like that, you look at it and say, this is the best used sock I've ever seen. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? Like you teach your kid to do that at Christmas with gifts. These two take themselves so seriously, to my Harry and Meghan, and they have no sense of humor, and it shows in everything they do, versus William and Catherine are just a joy. You see it on their faces. They're out there. They're mixing it up with the common folk, if you will, the people, and doing things like this. They're having fun, and they're enjoying their time together and with other people. And you just don't get that joy out of Harry and Meghan. All right, ready for this one? So let me get this straight. Harry, quote, always wanted out, but he never did a single thing, like receiving an education, saving money from the millions he was given an allowance. He has no real world skills, but he was gunning to get out. And Meghan, with her international relations degree and interest in politics, didn't know she had to curtsy to the Queen / head of state. They're either pathological liars or they're the dumbest people alive. Can they be both? Can both be true? I believe so. I think it's also ego as well. I think they say these things. They don't make sense. Their egos don't let them see that they don't make sense. They just think everybody's going to believe everything, hook, line, and sinker. And that's how come they got themselves in this mess now. They really thought everybody would just believe everything they said and not look right through them like we all have. Let's kick this one off right here. Actually, using Meghan makes more sense because the first two letters of Rachel don't represent her number one priority. Ding, ding, ding. Me, me, me. So this one has come up on the channel quite a bit, and I can go ahead and answer this for you. Yeah. Hi, Meghan. It says, I wonder if Meghan ever falls down YouTube rabbit holes of herself and binges all her own lie compilations and cringe memes. Yeah, I just have this feeling she's been here. Oh, it's too fun, too funny. Yeah, I'd like to think so. Hi, Meg. Okay, so the next one really made me laugh. I had not seen this photo before. I have to send this to Beebs to get her opinion. Everyone who thinks Meghan's worst look was her red Carolina Herrera tomato dress. That's one where, spray tan, fail, the whole thing. You know the dress. Clearly never saw her in her red J. Mendel Christmas present dress from the Mad Hot Ballet Gala. She's been making couture look costumey for a decade. So this was 2014, and I tried to go find photos. This is the only one I could find. I still got to say that tomato dress, the boob spilling, the East and West dress, you know what I'm talking about, is worse than this one. This one's pretty bad, but that other one's worse. Here it is up close. Yeah, ill-fitting. I don't hate the top. I actually like the top of this one better than that tomato dress, but it just all goes wrong toward the bottom. Yeah, not a fan. Anyway, okay, moving on. Then we have this one. Anyone who thinks Harry and Meghan's relationship is healthy needs a reality check. It's not healthy or normal for a woman to isolate her husband from his friends, family, country. Stop romanticizing a dysfunctional relationship. I get it. I kind of said the same thing if the roles were reversed. People would be like, what the hell is going on? But again, I refuse to paint that guy as a victim. Since we're talking fashion anyway, I found this one. It says Meghan's Victor, however you say that, Glamont top could have been saved if she cut the sleeves. Too bad neither designer nor wearer had no real sense of fashion. Okay, I don't know that anything could have saved this. I personally hate the color. I know some people like it. It's fine. I just don't love it. I like an asymmetrical top. This is not it. This looks awful. Let's move on. All right. So they start this one with, what's sad? I don't think this is sad. Even in making their own families, William won. He married a university sweetheart who has stood by him for so long. She supported him through everything. Harry ended up with a wife who gave up quickly and was not there for a lot of critical moments for him. William's children will grow up with grandparents, cousins, family tradition. Harry's are isolated with some random Hollywood crowd. Harry was so obsessed with trying to outshine William, he failed once more. I almost feel sorry for him. It must suck to be in his position. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for that guy. Again, I totally agree with the sentiment here, and I do feel sorry for the kids, if you believe in that sort of thing. That's up to you to decide. I feel sorry for them being isolated and, not having access to any of the grandparents. That's really messed up. But I don't know. I think about him smiling while she does that fake curtsy thing. I think about him sitting right next to her on the couch during the Netflix of it all, during the Oprah of it all, writing his book. He could have spoken up. He didn't. He's right there with her. Okay, this one kind of gave me a chuckle. Doria might as well get a sash saying Meghan Markle's mother and wear it 24/7 just in case anyone who doesn't know who she is needs a reminder. Okay, this is funny on several levels. This is funny because, yes, in the time that was the case, and now she's kind of gone missing. I think, have we seen her since the near catastrophic car chase? I can't remember when she did her backgrid walk. It probably was after that. But around that time, since then, we really haven't seen nope, that's not true. That's right. She took the photo with Kim Kardashian. Okay, we still haven't seen much of her lately. The other funny thing that came up recently is look at how she's billed here. Meghan's mother. Okay. The reason that's important is because when Meghan was trying to say about her dad, she's like, my dad has only ever called me Meg. That's what my parents call me, Meg. It was in regards to that that letter, that sort of thing. So she was trying to say, I wasn't sure if it was him because my parents only call me Meg. And then clearly you can see that's not the case. She lies about everything. Here's Meghan's mother. And we found it in other places where she's on record calling her Meghan, not Meg. So again, none of it makes any sense. All right. Don't hate me on this one. You know I like Diana. I've said similar things that they try to emulate her, and yet Diana had a charisma, a charm about her that Meghan could never have. This person points out that Diana, you could see how passionate she was about the causes she supported. I thought that was an excellent compliment and an excellent point, and that's just not something you get from Meghan. And then this person says, if I took a shot every time Meghan collapsed in Spare, I'd end up with alcohol poisoning. Yeah, but I'll see you and raise you because I believe she talked about that in the Oprah interview, or no, the Netflix documentary as well. There was lots of collapsing on the floor, hence this photo we're treated to right here. Okay, so this came out recently out of Endgame, where Harry's comment was, don't you want to see your grandchildren anymore? It was in response to, I believe, Frogmore and security and the whole thing. So this person's pointing out it's vile, and it tells you all you need to know about him. Classic blank behavior. Yeah, same. I was calling the same. I think it's like emotional blackmail or something. I don't know what the real term is, but something like that. It's just trying to tug at Charles that way to try to get what he wants. It's really disgusting. And that's, again, another reason why I have no sympathy for this guy. This one just made me laugh because, again, Petty lives here. Hello. It says, everyone, Meghan is so articulate. I don't think anybody has said that, but okay, we'll go with it. Meghan at the Variety red carpet. Our little ones are little. Yep. That's a thing that happened. Somebody asked her about the holidays or something, the upcoming holidays, and she just gave some word salad answer about our little ones are little. It's like, okay, thank you, bye-bye. I think she must have been distracted as she was trying to, set up camp on the red carpet. I do think it's important to remind people about this as well. After what Harry said about both Camilla and Catherine, I don't see a friendlier reunion in the horizon after all. He was the one who said he was the first in his family to marry for love. Wasn't that some crap? I believe that was said in Spare. He said he was the first. So again, just being horrible. Another way to try to put down Catherine, Princess of Wales. I feel like it was an attack toward her, as well as Camilla as well. It's so horrible to say something like that. And then this person says, I wouldn't forgive someone if they said that about my spouse. So why would Charles or William forgive Harry? Agreed. I think it's important to remind everybody of stuff like that, because I do get comments saying, Harry's the victim in this, and I think it's easy to accidentally slide into thinking like that. But then you're reminded of stuff like this, and I'm like, nope. Harry's not a victim. He did this to himself. This one says, I'm so happy the vile misogynistic hit job called Endgame is blowing up in the faces of Harry, Meghan, and their nasty ventriloquist dummy, Omid Scobie. I know it's been said. I find this take so funny, and I totally agree. It's just funny to call him a nasty ventriloquist dummy because that's kind of what he looks like, just saying. And finally, we have this one. I'm not sure why people say Meghan would have been an asset to the royal family. I don't think anybody's saying that. I think Harry has said that. An asset is an asset no matter where they are. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry left the royal family 4 years ago and have achieved nothing of note. Ding, ding, ding. Well said. I think they put the ass in asset. What reputation does Meghan Markle want to achieve? Answer, to look like this without work. Ding, ding, ding. I think so too. P.S. I say it all the time. This is like my favorite look on Catherine, and that's saying something because she always looks great. Love this look. Okay. Yes, whoever you are answering this, I think you're spot on. This is what Meghan thought royal life would look like at all times. Obviously, the rest of us know that that's not the case. It's a lot of, shaking hands, doing the things, selfless work that she just couldn't be bothered to do, and thought she'd fan around like this all the time while being spoiled rotten. Okay, next question. What was the turning point for Meghan Markle's credibility? Well, I don't know about the exact point for her credibility. What turned me is the South Africa interview. I've talked about this at length. Won't go back through it, but just knowing that she was standing there within feet of people that have suffered real tragedies and real loss and real human rights violations, horrible situations, and she's standing there having wiped all her makeup off, trying to make a sad face and say nobody's asking her how she's doing. See, you can hear it in my voice. It makes me disgusted to even say it out loud. Answer. Alarm bells rang for me when she did the Vanity Fair interview wild about Harry. Their relationship was only in its early stages at that point. It was so over the top, gushing and false. I need to go back and look at that interview again. Maybe we can do a deep dive of it and discuss that more at length. I just remember the story of essentially allegedly acting like an ass on that shoot, and then when she got negative feedback on it, she tried to turn it back around and blame Vanity Fair for everything. What else is new, right? All right, what does Catherine, Princess of Wales, have that Meghan Markle doesn't? Oh, where to begin? Where to start? Family, close family, balanced life. She's figured out the way to balance raising children, time with her husband, and charity work. Royal duties, has managed not just to fit in, but become a big part of the royal family. And of course, she has the prince she loves, who will one day be king. Catherine is amazing. Catherine has become just a rock for that family, it seems. I love... it tells me everything I need to know based on how the Queen reacted to Catherine. And obviously the Queen and Catherine were very tight. I love that. The fact that Catherine didn't just completely unleash on Meghan after all the crap that Meghan put not only Catherine, but all of them through, including the Queen, including Princess Charlotte, everything. The fact that Catherine has maintained her dignity or silence and just carried on says everything I need to know about Catherine and tells me I'm on the right track with all this because, damn, both Harry and Meghan, the things that they did to, both sides of the family, but I'm talking about the royal family at this point, it's unbelievable. What reputation does Meghan Markle want to achieve? If she wants to be regarded as selfish... What is this? Homo. I think that's really funny. Homo. Well done, Meghan. You've achieved that. Okay. Homo. Something's wrong there, but I get where you're going with this. Who ruined Meghan Markle's reputation? Answer. She did. Too many silly lies, too many attempts to play the victim. Yeah, she's got nobody to blame but herself and her stupid husband. They did it to themselves. We've been through it. I don't feel sorry for either of them. They couldn't. Every single turn, they have made the wrong decision. Not only with just this playing victim, but to the answer's point, it's the lies, the easily provable lies, and yet they carry on. Let's see some footage of that car chase, you ass clowns. Is Meghan Markle unstoppable? Probably. Her self-destruction shows no signs of slowing down. So this was actually from a year ago, and I gotta say, answer still works. Still not slowing down. The ridiculousness continues. I still think it's funny. Think of all the rebrands. I've said this before too. No normal person needs to rebrand like these two do all the time. But they continuously do, and they think we're gonna forget everything. But don't worry, we're not gonna. Is Meghan Markle close with Princess Anne? Answer. If she is close as a near, the pariah faux duchess had better find a safe hiding place. The Princess Royal is a force to be reckoned with. I love Princess Anne so much. Not bloody likely. Let's see. A force to be reckoned with and does not suffer fools or liars gladly. dying to have tea with Princess Anne. That'd be so cool. She was on to Markle's gold digger con act the first moment she met her, and will use her considerable power to protect the monarchy against all enemies, foreign and domestic. She is well informed by British security, who vetted Markle as you can read it, and allegedly these things. The moment she targeted Harry and scrubbed much of the alleged nude images and unsavory details to avoid embarrassment to the royal family and Prince Harry. They, of course, have all the damaging materials on file should they be required. She will not hesitate to use the MI6 files should Markle continue to poke the English bear. Now, I don't know. I can't speak to that part of it, but I can say I love the Princess Royal so much. I feel the same way. Everything I've learned of her, I love. I love her work ethic. I love her attitude. I love, just her. I'm thrilled to death that, when I went to England for the coronation, she was one of the ones I got to see. Oh my gosh. You talk about starstruck, that'll do it. I may have burst into tears when I saw her, but anyway, that's beside the point. This question is ridiculous. No, because Princess Anne knows, again, she has a work ethic. She stands for everything that Meghan never has and never will. All right, what's the biggest mistake Prince Harry and Meghan made post-Megxit? So this person is pointing to the near catastrophic car chase. And while that's a good one, and I respect where you're going, and I will continue to bring that up because seriously, where is the footage? Nobody's come forward with any interesting tales of this near catastrophic car chase they want us to forget. So I'm going to keep talking about it. But I'm going to go ahead and disagree. That is not the biggest mistake they've made. The biggest mistake they've made is not shutting the blank up. Nobody made them stay in the royal family. They were free to leave at any time. That is not the issue. That's the issue that the Sugars like to take because they missed the point. That is not the issue. The issue is their assholery. Yes, I've made that up right now on the spot and my frustration. Their assholery behavior since leaving. They won't shut up. They have to talk to people like Oprah, people where they already know the questions are going to be asked and they know they won't be challenged on said questions. Let's see. They put things in print. See Spare for details, like whining about William getting the bigger sausages. I wish I could make that up. I'm not. It's in the book. Dumbass Harry accusing William and Catherine in print of making him essentially wear, that costume. I mean, these two are unbelievable. They will never learn. They will never take any responsibility because they simply think they can do no wrong. All right. Is Meghan Markle afraid of Thomas Markle? Answer: afraid only that he's a reminder for her of who she really is and where she's from, not who she's now pretending to be. How can anyone who discussed her husband's family on international TV, who regularly poses for media photos, possibly criticize her father for discussing his family to a journalist, posing for a couple of pics? What a hypocrite she truly is. Thank you, Elaine, for this. This is exactly what I've been saying too. We now have Doria posing for backgrid photos. Doesn't seem to bother old Maggie Poo, but when Dad does it, it's, a big fucking deal. It's worth severing ties over. Again, these two think they can do no wrong, so she has no problem, again, selling herself out to backgrid, selling stickers in a parking lot. That will never not be funny to me either. That's why I continue to bring that one up. Let's not forget that. She was selling stickers in a parking lot. All right. Why was Meghan Markle reportedly envious of Lady Louise? And I know you know who Lady Louise is, but if you're the person that doesn't, let me fill you in. Lady Louise, Alice Elizabeth Mary Mountbatten Windsor, big name, is 20 years old. She's the youngest niece of King Charles. She was born 8th in line to the British throne. She is daughter of Sophie and Prince Edward, Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. I tend to focus on Meghan's jealousy of Catherine, jealousy of the Queen, people like that. Pippa, I've been through that. I hadn't really gone into Lady Louise, so this is interesting to me. This person points out it's because Meghan got nothing. The Queen bestowed Lady Louise precious jewelry, and they're saying that that made Meghan green-eyed. I just find it interesting that the louder this one cries feminist, the more stories come out of her awful treatment of what seems to be especially women. You name it, from Samantha to the different aides that worked with her when, her time in the royal family, to female journalists that have come forward and talked about her awful behavior. I mean, it really is interesting. Do you think Prince Harry regrets marrying Meghan Markle? I think he's a miserable, bitter time bomb. And I think he found the worst person that brings the worst qualities out of him. And again, I don't think he's any better than she is. I think he's just as bad. I just think they're a terrible couple together. They bring out the worst in each other and they continue to do awful things. But this person says, yes, the problem is Harry's essentially trapped. I have been through this. I have trouble with that narrative. He has way more resources than most of the rest of us do combined. And so I have trouble. I cannot see him as a victim. Again, every time I start to slip into that, I realize, oh yeah, he wrote that stupid book Spare. He slung mud just as much as her, and it was his family. He let her do this as much as he's done it. So no, he's just as guilty as she is. But they put up this meme that says, I walked out of my job, and you know what the cheeky blighters, I hadn't heard that, did? They jolly well stopped paying me. It's just not cricket. I pulled this answer as well. They're basically saying the same thing as me. They're two peas in a pod. They deserve each other. Two narcissists, what could go wrong? But the reason I love this comment is because she calls him needy and her greedy. Needy and greedy. That's great. All right, let's end on a silly one, shall we? Would you marry Meghan Markle for $1 million? Answer. Would I be expected to live with her following the ceremony? If the answer is yes, then my answer is no. This person answers, she'd be through that in a couple of weeks, less if she wanted to attend a red carpet affair where she wanted another ridiculously expensive and terribly unflattering ensemble. Well, guys, this was fun. I've seen enough of the grifters for now, so I'm going to leave us with this photo of Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. It's the question and answer website where people ask random questions. I'm pulling one specific to Harry and Meghan, Herald and Fraud, if you will. And we're going to take a look at some of the funny answers and have a discussion about it. So let's take a look. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Honk, honk. All right, I thought we'd start strong. Here we go. You ready? What does Meghan Markle bring to the table? Nothing except for lies, lies, and more lies. And then this person answers, Harry's balls, lies, her ego, and a Netflix crew. Also her mother, if you're really unlucky. I was actually thinking about this, though. What would she bring to the table? I'm really not sure. I'm really trying to think about it. Some recycled recipes she likes to regurgitate. I can't think of, I honestly can't. I can't think of any skills unless you need to be able to lie, but she doesn't even lie well. So I really, truly, I don't know what she brings to the table. An inflated sense of self? A smug attitude? I don't know. Okay, this one is Meghan Markle planning a relaunch? I find this so funny. I talk about this too. If you're a normal person, you don't have to constantly relaunch, but yeah, not the case for Hank and Skank. Answer, she's planned countless relaunches of what? I'm not sure. As being a yacht girl is her only accomplishment. Guess she did okay opening suitcases as an actor and a royal. She's an abject failure. Mad Meg, great name, is always planning a relaunch. Problem is, since Meghan has no seeming grip on reality, but works from fantasy and delusions of grandeur, her plans always fizzle and do not materialize as she imagined. Or if they do, they're warped, failed versions. Good luck to her. I think about this a lot, though, this relaunch thing, because it seems to be her go-to thing to plant in the press is, watch out, a new relaunch, a new this or that is coming, but then nothing ever happens. I've just never seen anything like it, and I find it fascinating. she can't even put in the effort to launch anything. She just puts out stories of relaunching. We have some laughs and then nothing ever materializes. I really think she just expected she just wouldn't have to do any work. She'd just be handed everything, every opportunity, and that would be that. All right. How do you feel about Meghan as a person? Answer. She's a user, abuser, fame hungry, money hungry, fake in every sense. A useless nobody, not even good looking. She's an absolute waste of space, and her negative reputation will follow her forever. She will never have any true friends for the rest of her life, as absolutely no one has an ounce of respect for her. If she thinks that everyone is naive and that they have no idea what she is all about, then she's delusional. Imagine being so hated and despised. But of course, true narcissists don't care anyway. Okay, here's another answer. Don't trust her. She lied about never seeing Harry before and did that Oprah show. Oh, and why would a woman who loves a man not stop him from writing that book? OMG. Thank you. I have been saying the same thing. Nobody that truly loves somebody would ever let them publish that thing. And yet here we are. Yeah, it really is wild, right? I feel like she's calculated, and that book will come into play when she wants it to down the road when they are divorcing or whatever, separating. So she can say, look, he talked about his substance habits in the book. He talks about being an absentee father in the book. You name it, he talked about it. Don't even get me started on the mommy stuff, you know? I think she wanted him. I mean, it's like the Jada Smith of it all, right? She wanted to make him look like he ended up looking. All right, question. What inspires Meghan Markle the most? What drives her to do what she does? All right, answer. What inspires Meg is fame and fortune. She can't get enough of it. Look how she acts in front of photographers. She can't get enough of the camera. Therefore, she will do whatever it takes and use whomever she wants to get it. Never mind the cost and the people she hurts along the way. What drives Meg's is her want for the world to revolve around her. In order for that to happen, she needs to be wealthier and more famous than anybody. Her problem is she doesn't want to work for it. Ding, ding, ding. That's what I was saying too. She doesn't have the patience for that. Look at how easily she quits and gives up. She expects everything to be given to her. When it's not, she acts like a petulant schoolgirl. She doesn't understand that not everything in life is given to you. She keeps trying and ends up looking more and more like a pathetic little girl that she is. Woo! Michael, you are on fire. I can't disagree with anything Michael said there. I really think when she married Doofus, she thought she got the golden ticket. And turns out you're just married to a dum-dum not willing to put in any work whatsoever. No, it's exactly what I was saying earlier. I think she just expects that everything will be handed to her, and she will be just universally adored in the process. I'm not sure. I would say it must be nice to live under that level of delusion, but it's really quite pathetic. Question: what will King Charles do to Meghan Markle? All right, answer: he's already doing it, ignoring her and not feeding her drama. Since she has nothing to offer but drama, her value as a celebrity has been depleted. Why is Meghan Markle so immature? What? Immature? Why would you say that? Just kidding. She can't keep her tongue in her head. It's because she married an imbecile, and he's easily distracted by, well, pictures like these, I guess. All right, let's take a look at this answer. It's on the long side, but I thought they made some interesting points. It says she's a narcissist, and narcissists are very childlike. There's a misconception that narcissists are grandiose braggarts, and that is partly true. Narcissists are insecure, jealous, and vengeful. Now that sounds familiar. This is a woman who was upset at one story in the press. She made Catherine cry, that she wanted the palace to correct it. When they didn't correct it, she fled the country, went on Oprah to correct it. I think that is so simplified, but you know what? So I can get on board with it. So well said. I think that's pretty good. This is a woman who was so upset and offended because Catherine supposedly made a gross face when Meghan borrowed her lip gloss. It has to be put in a book. Never mind that Catherine actually let her borrow the lip gloss. But how dare she make a face, right? This is a woman who... this is a woman so offended that Catherine had the audacity to say, "You should not be talking about my hormones," when Meghan called her baby brain. How rude. That it has to be put in a book. This is a woman so upset that Catherine wouldn't give her a hug. She discussed it in a 6-hour wine fest for Netflix. You say, "Oh, stop. No one can whine for 6 hours." Trust me. They whined for 6 hours straight. Trust me. I watched it. I know. It really was. The woman is so jealous of Catherine that there's no way she would stay in the UK and be second best. I would say she's lower than that, but I get what you're saying. This is a woman so deluded and unable to read a room that she really thought she would come to the US and be a power player. Oh, I find that so funny. I focus on that too, and I find it so funny. She was just convinced that she could do no wrong and that they were basically rock stars, so they came over here and... Yeah, it's been a complete shit show, but I am here for it. And I think they deserve everything they're getting now. Question, is it true that Prince Harry is gullible? Well, that's a nicer way of saying that. Answer, yeah, I think he is. I'll give you a couple of examples by his own account. In his book, Spare, Harry claimed that Meghan sang to seals, who in turn answered her song to them. Yep. Does that sound gullible to you? Because it does to me. Harry also claimed in the same book that Meghan spoke to his mother Diana in the spirit world. Again, I ask, is that not evidence how gullible Harry is, willing to accept everything that Meghan tells him as gospel? All right. And then Junie says, obviously not just gullible, but a special kind of stupid. He didn't know right from wrong, always suspecting his brother of sabotaging him, and believing the lies of complete strangers over his family. Remember how easily Harry was duped by a couple of pranksters pretending to be Greta Thunberg. Do you remember this? Because I do. I'm sure you remember the story, but in case you don't, 2020, I think, Harry got duped. So these two guys from Russia called up. One pretended to be the dad, and one, I think, pretended to be Greta herself, and duped Harry into saying a bunch of crap, including that things are hard and that he left the royal family to protect his son. You know, all that nonsense. Yeah, I would say he's pretty gullible. And I wanted to wrap up with one of my faves, Princess Anne. What could Prince Harry and Meghan Markle learn from Princess Anne? Decorum, loyalty, and work ethic to start with. And this person asks, is Meghan close with Princess Anne? Answer, if I know anything about dear Princess Anne, it's that she probably tore Markle a new one the first time she saw her appalling rudeness and bad behavior. You don't mess with Princess Anne. All she cares about is duty, decency, hard work, and family. Hey, that seems to be the opposite of both Meghan and Harry. Well, guys, this was a lot of fun. I'm going to leave you with some tongue pictures. Ew. I love doing these Quora questions. If you want to see more like this, please let me know in the comments. I welcome it. And I look forward to bringing you lots more videos like this. I really appreciate you all. Definitely leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. You take care. Bye-bye. Let's take a look at the fun things you guys had to say about American Riviera Orchard, whatever the hell that is. Here we go. So we're kicking this one off with Amanda. You've been with me a long time, Amanda. Thank you for that. And it says, thank you for detailing Meghan perfectly as the deranged, money-hungry, fake royal fame blank that she is. And then she goes on to talk about the article I was talking about with Maureen. And let's look at this last line here. Just go away. Try selling your jam in hell. I think that's pretty great. Amanda, I can't tell you the laugh that this gave me. Thank you for this. And then Mo posted this, which I thought was such a good point. It says, I hope the date for Princess Catherine's return is not publicized so the Harkles don't get warning to post anything. Oh my gosh, you're brilliant. I didn't even think about that point. You're right. I hope so too, because sure as you know what, that's when the two will trot out their kids or whatever. They'll trot out something to try to steal attention. I mean, look, they launched this stupid site when they were supposed to be honoring Diana. So yeah, no, you're exactly right. I hope it's not publicized either, but I hope that's all everybody pays attention to. Meaning the Catherine return of it all, not Dumb and Dumberton. All right, I want to give a big shout out here to Paula, who posts, "You've just reminded me the first Christmas Catherine was invited to spend with the royal family, she gave Queen Elizabeth a pot of jam she had made for her. Reportedly, Queen Elizabeth was so pleased it appeared on the breakfast table." Isn't that incredible? I forgot about that. I talked about in another video where somebody went back and found an article from 2012 where Catherine, and I believe William too, talked about making their own jam. Well, imagine that when it's become Markle's passion, right? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's Markle's passion. So, yeah, I totally forgot about this, but the grifts keep on grifting, right? That is a thing that I heard as well, that Catherine had given jam as a gift, which I think is such a lovely gift, and I love that the Queen reacted this way. But seriously, it just shows the scary level that Meghan especially stoops to. Thank you for this, Paula. And then Angelica posts this. She's been crying for over 30 years that some 10-year-old boys in her class said women belong in the kitchen. Now she's literally in the kitchen. They have to be on some serious substances. Exactly. I've been saying the same thing. How many times have we heard that soap story? And yet here she is in the kitchen trying to peddle wares to women. So make that make sense. You can't. Nothing about them makes any sense. But I think that's such a good point. And it leads me to another point. Have you seen the stories coming out? More people have put together. They've done the math and figured out that at the time, they think she was actually at an all-girls school, so it makes that story make even less sense. All right, in regards to the name American Riviera Orchard, which a lot of people are calling ARO, another ripoff, this person, Video Shorts 5666, says, "It's Meghan's Rotten Orchard." Ugh, you're right, but also, ugh. That makes me think of southern regions, and I don't mean geographically. You know what I'm talking about. Ew. And Angelica thinks that Meghan would have better luck selling feet pics. I don't know, Angelica. I get where you're going with that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Oh, this one really gave me a laugh. Thank you, Angelica, for that. All right. And then this person says, after hearing about American Grifter Orchard, I went straight to the Highgrove website and bought preserves and marmalade. Never will I support the gruesome twosome. I just found out that all proceeds from Highgrove go to charity. I need to find out if they'll ship to America. If so, I'm in. I will buy as well. It says, I can imagine her selling wine that she herself stomped with her own two royal, in quotation marks, feet. Seriously, that would be something she'd do, and she'd call it something so pretentious, like the Duchess's footpath or some shit like that. You're right. Ew. I don't want to drink that. It'd be like $2,000 a bottle, something just absolutely astronomical and again nonsensical. Now, Catherine shared this one, which I love so much. It says, hey, we have fruit trees, rose bushes, and chickens here in eastern Kentucky. I'm now going to start calling our house Appalachian Riviera Orchard. I like the sound of that. I should do a video arranging honeysuckle and magnolia blossoms stirring the apple butter kettle, dressed in overalls on my front porch. Think the Sussexes would sue? I say go for it. I love your ideas so much. I would rather watch you doing all these things. Yours actually sounds interesting to me. I would rather watch you doing all these things in your overalls on your front porch than anything to do with Harold and fraud. I think this is a great idea. And then MN posted this. So this was in regard to that video I put up where Kim Kardashian had tweeted out, or whatever, put on Instagram, going to look for Kate. It's so obnoxious. This person says maybe Kim should look for Archie and Lily. All right, ANJ6787 says the black ball gown shot, ... Is that the new Miss Havisham she was pitching to Netflix? Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. She's had so many rebrands. That was a thing that was going around. Do you remember this? That like that was one of the rumors that she was pitching to Netflix, some sort of Mrs. Haversham spinoff, and a lot of us found that very funny. Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I just don't think she has any follow through or work ethic though. So I'm guessing she's just haunting her kitchen. Okay, then Donna points out also, Jen, we never see any toys around. None in this badly lit video. Doesn't she know an award-winning lighting designer? I thought that was such a good point. You know, I was so focused on the blur of it all and the Vaseline lens type thing, but yeah, very good point. Poorly lit as well, and that's it's funny, but it's also sad because it makes me think of her dad, and it's just not right what they've done to him as well. But you're right, you bring up such a good point. And Anne posted this one that said she put a whole tube of lube on the camera lens so she wouldn't have to tinker with her wrinkles. Elizabeth had the same reaction I did when she realized and said, OMG, that's her own quote calligraphy on the name. Barf. All right, then Julie shared this. I've been trying to figure out that emblem on top for days. I keep joking about it and talking about what it could be. Julie says that emblem just looks like a praying mantis head to me. I think it's rather fitting. I think you're right, Julie, and now that's all I'll see when I look at that thing. And then Helen asks a great question. What is beverageware? I don't know, Helen. I've been trying to rack my brain on that as well. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, that's one of the things that Meghan's people or Meghan or whomever put out that she was also selling. Beverageware. Let that sink in. Beverageware. All right. And then Possum put out this. It says, I'm surprised she didn't work the word Duchess in the title. American Riviera Duchess. American Duchess. Duchess of America. I think that's such a good point. Yeah, you're right. I'm surprised she didn't try to use the title. I said in another video, I'm convinced, and I saw somebody else make this comment, I'm convinced she put Riviera in there. Not that she gives a crap about the Riviera. It's more the R for royal. So that way we could tie it back somehow. And then this person points out American Riviera kiosk coming to a Montecito mall near you by Meghan the Mall Rat. All right, just me wrote, come on, Jen, we all put on our nicest white silk top before going into the kitchen to mix cocoa, eggs, and heavy cream. It makes the experience much more stressful, something we can all deal with more stress. She does not strike me as a woman who can cook, garden, or anything substantial. She's smoke and horns. I think that's great and such a great point. If you notice in the blurry pic, if you squint your eyes real hard, you can see she's wearing some stupid fancy white shirt while pretending to cook. And anybody who's spent even a fraction of a second in a kitchen knows that doesn't make sense. Right? And then David shared this. I bet everything is blurry as it's a stand-in. She couldn't be bothered as it's outside her 1 hour per week work hours. Of course I walk around in a ball gown in daylight. Who isn't? LOL. I know, right, David? Let us all slap on our ball gowns and clean the toilets, right? That's a thing that normal people do. Oh, thank you, David, for the laughs. All right, WM says, look at the logo. Just a quick look. The first impression gives you an M and R with a little crown. Royal Meghan. Ding, ding, ding. I think you're on to something here. It says this is not meant to look like ARO. This was not a mistake. I think you're so spot on. I called it too. I thought it was meant to be like a royal insignia with a crown. And then I wasn't sure what the letters were. I really thought maybe an H, but what am I thinking? Of course she doesn't want to include that doofus. Yeah, you're right. So M and R, or R and M, however you want to see it, Royal Meghan. Yep, that sounds right. Elizabeth says it's going to fail for the simple reason, okay, 2 reasons. A business requires work and public goodwill. I think you're spot on. I think it's going to be so interesting because I don't think it'll last long. I don't think that they'll put the time that it takes into it. Of course they won't. Or the money that it takes to do something like this. You have to invest money into a project like this. I don't think that they will. And I I really wonder what will be the excuse when it goes down. People are saying just a couple of months they suspect it'll go down. I'm kind of in that camp as well. I think she'll pretend to have some new job or some new offer of something that also won't come to fruition, but for some reason she'll find a way to blame Catherine. I don't know, some reason this won't last. No, we know why it won't last, but some reason she'll find to blame this thing not lasting, and it'll be interesting to see. And then Jane says, now that she's busy in the kitchen, how will she find time for the Lemonade podcast? I love it, Jane. So Jane, of course, referring to the Limonada, the podcast thing that's supposed to be happening. I guess is happening. Who knows? Yeah, I don't think she'll find time for either, and that will be her excuse for when both implode. All right, Max's mom says, to me, Orchard is a beautiful century-old farmhouse with rows of apple trees, pear trees, and fields of pumpkins. Maybe a farm stand selling apple cider and apple butter in the fall. Not an Olive Garden hacienda trying to mimic the old homes of the Italian and Spanish coast. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. There is just nothing there. There's no substance, which I could say describes any project that Harold and Fraud take on. No substance. There's nothing there. It's these ripped off ideas, these half-baked, if you will, ideas that don't actually mean anything to anybody. So they're doomed to fail. Bert's mom summed up how myself and a lot of us are feeling. Listen to this. Where's the Harkle kids? Oh, yeah. That's confidential. Talk about double standards. You just can't make this stuff up. So leave Princess Catherine alone. It's nobody's business where Catherine is or what she's doing. It's about time that the vile pair got their own lives in order instead of copying other people. Thank you for that. That sums up exactly how I've been feeling. It's the continued hypocrisy and double standard that these two are absolutely known for. All right, Jan, I see you. That's funny. I didn't read this before. Now I found this one, and I just talked about this. I said it'll only last a few months. Here we go, Jan. Shady pictures for a shady business. I'm putting 10 pounds on it not lasting longer than 2 months. Any takers? Reply in the comments with how long do you think this will last? How long is America... I can't remember the name. American Riviera Orchard going to be a thing? And will it actually be a thing? Do you think it will just be selling t-shirts as it appears to be now, where it's just like pieces of merch with some weird logo slapped on it? Is that all there is? Is that what this whole thing is going to be? I hear the rumblings too about the Netflix show and stuff. I'll believe it when I see it. But right now there's just no substance to it or them. And so I wonder, is that all there is? Are we just getting shitty t-shirts? Let me know in the comments, because this will be fun. We'll go back and look when this thing implodes. Who got closest? I'm saying, gosh, it's hard to say. If there is a Netflix show that's going to make it last a little longer, well, my instinct is to say just a couple of months. I don't know, 4 months? And then all of a sudden, just no more posting? It's too hard. And finally, we have Elaine here that says, Jen, I will still buy my Smucker's jam instead of the one's overpriced jam. I stand with Catherine, never the traitors from Montecito. Elaine, I love you. I'm right there with you. I'll be buying that as well. I do want to look into the High Grove thing and see if they'll ship to America. If so, I'll buy some from there. But I'm totally with you. I would rather buy Smucker's jam. I'd rather buy jam from, I don't know, somebody that, like a farm that's selling it, not Hank and Skank. You know who has good jam? If you ever go to Dollywood, they sell like preserves and stuff there. It's delicious. Check that out. Guys, thank you so much for all the laughs. I want to do more like this. I like to highlight the fun comments and the thought-provoking comments, and believe me, you all leave them. There was hard to choose which one I wanted to talk about because they're all so good. So thank you if you left me comments recently. I've read them. I love them. You guys are the best, and I can't thank you enough. Every comment goes to support the channel, support the show, and support me, and I appreciate that so much. It really does. Wait, I really do. I kind of tongue-tied there for a second. As more crazy things with these two happen, I'll be talking about it. But as always, you guys make every day more fun, and I appreciate you all so much. I truly do. Thank you for all your love and all your support and everything you do. It means the world to me, and I truly hope you all have the best day. And please keep leaving me funny comments because you don't know how much they brighten each and every day for me. They really do. Thank you for that. Have the best day. Bye-bye.